You're more than welcome to use canned peas or frozen peas. However, I had some sugar snap peas on hand, so here you just kind of see me taking out all of the peas from the pods. 2 out of 10, do not recommend. This took a while, and you need about 1/2 cup. Also, go ahead and get 2 chicken breasts boiling, and you're more than welcome to use a rotisserie chicken if you want to make this go by a little faster. I honestly love chicken pot pie crust, and I had it with puff pastry one time, and I was just hooked. So you're gonna need 2 sheets of puff pastry, and I just take a pizza roller, or you can use a knife, and you just cut it into strips, and then you're gonna cut those strips into little rectangles. Once you have your rectangles, you're just gonna place a layer of them on the bottom and pop them in the oven at 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so I'm using my little mini Dutch oven, so to speak. You're more than welcome to use a large cast iron if you just want to make like one large one. Moving on to the filling, you're going to start with 2 shallots and thinly slice them. Once you get them sliced, you're going to go ahead and place them into a separate bowl. Next, you're going to thinly slice 2 carrots and make sure they're peeled and washed, and you slice the tops off. I want it to be a little fancy and I slice mine diagonally. However, you're more than welcome to slice them how you please. You're going to thinly slice your carrots, and once those are all sliced, you're going to get those placed in the same bowl that your shallots were placed in. After that, you're going to need 2 celery stalks, and you're going to cut the ends off and slice it right down the middle to create 2 pieces, and you're going to thinly slice that, and then once those are sliced, you're going to go ahead and add those to the same bowl you have your other vegetables in. After 20 to 25 minutes, your pastry base should be finished and should look something like this. Now you're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to a hot skillet. Add in your veggies and saute them on medium to medium high for about 5 to 10 minutes. Add a pinch of salt to the vegetables as they cook. You just want them to be softened. Remove your vegetables and set them to the side, and in the same pan, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. And as your butter melts, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of flour and whisk it together for about 1 minute until it is well combined and has a slight brown color to it. Then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of dry white wine of your choice and 1 tablespoon of tarragon. If you're not a fan of tarragon, you can also use oregano. Then you're just going to mix that for about another minute or so until it's well combined. After it's combined, add a pinch of salt and add 2 cups of chicken stock, and you're going to whisk that until it is well combined, just kind of making sure there are no lumps and that you can get it as smooth as you can. Our next step, we're going to pour in a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and then you're going to give it a quick whisk to make sure that is also well combined, and then you're going to turn your heat down to low and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, do a taste test and add salt and pepper to it if you like. I added a little bit of pepper to it, and also go ahead and shred your rotisserie or broiled chicken. Next, you're going to add your veggies in, peas, as well as your shredded chicken, and you can also add in a tablespoon of parsley. I use fresh, but you can also use dried, and you're just going to go ahead and give that a stir until everything is well coated in the sauce. It'll look like this or look very similar to this. And next in your prepared dishes, you're just going to take a ladle spoon and ladle your filling into there. If you're using a cast iron, you're just going to ladle it into the cast iron to make sure it's nice and leveled. And then you're going to take your remaining rectangles or remaining puff pastry that you've already cut, and you're just going to layer the tops of your pot pies. And once you have all of your layers on, you're just going to go ahead and beat 1 egg off to the side, and then you're just going to lightly brush the tops of your pot pie with that egg and pop it into the oven at 375 for about 35 to 40 minutes. And this was my final result. These are perfect for those gloomy, rainy days.